Hi friend, today we're going to continue working on our buffered patch box for our pedal board. We're going to do a shopping list, and what we're going to do is we're going to breadboard an example of a buffer, and we're going to switch it in and out of the signal chain, and I want you to see how much of a difference it actually makes. If that sounds good, join me. Okay, let's get this shopping list done first. We're just going to go to Mouser because that's the only place we're going to be able to find the OPA 1612s. Now, if you want to make it with through holes with TL072, you can get those at anywhere. But let's order these first. I honestly don't know the difference between the AID version and the AIDR version. Let's see if we could do a comparison here. Here's the QDR, Q1. Let's see. How do we compare these? Compare. Got it. All right, let's see. Everything's the same. High performance bipolar audio OP. I think these are the two we want to actually compare. Things the same. It's different packaging. No big deal. Channel audio. Everything's the same, isn't it? This one has a higher operating temperature. That's no big deal. This one doesn't have a supply voltage listed. We're going to stick with these two. It's a different quantity package, that's all. Let's see. Supply voltage maximum. This one has a bigger maximum, but this one is 18 volts, so that's fine. Yep, we're going to go with the first one on the list here. AIDR is fine. Either one's fine. All right, let's go back, and we're going to choose the less expensive one. I think it's like, let's see, 50 cents difference, so I'm going to buy 4 of these. I selected those too. Let me get rid of those real quick. I have something else in my cart. Slide switches. Delete. Look at that. $7.99 for shipping. Stinks. Okay, we're going to get some. Everything else we're going to buy at Tata. And love my switches. So let's just check out here. Let's go to Tata. I'm going to order all the capacitors, the diode, and the resistors at Tata. And at Love My Switches, we're going to order the... I just need some more enclosures because I ran out of 1590Bs. All right, I'm going to get these ordered and I'll be right back. Okay, we got all that shopping out of the way. So what we're going to do is we are going to breadboard a buffer, and then we're going to run a signal through a really long guitar cable. Here we have our positive. We're just going to hook this up to our test box. Plus is there. And our minus is here. Those out of the way. Let's get I always use green for input and yellow for output. So we're going to start over on this side. And from there, we're going to start with our 2.2 mega ohms resistors. I'm just going to leave the leads really long on this, but we're going to go from here to here to ground, here to ground. And then from there, we're going to go through our 100 nanofarad capacitor. And we need 2 more of these. This is going to be our biasing circuit. We're going to go from positive here and then back from there to the ground. And what this is going to do is it's a voltage divider, and since these are both 2.2 meg, it's going to exactly split it in half at that point. Actually, we'll want this to go to the other side of that capacitor. There. Now we'll come out of there and we'll go right into the input of our op amp, which is going to be pin number 3. Let's turn this so pin 1 is up. All right. So we want pin 7. See, here's the little dot. I don't know if you can see that. That implies this is pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is right here. That is our positive voltage input. And I need something for ground. That will be pin number 4. Ground is going to go right to pin 4. Okay, now this is powered. Once we turn this on, we're going to hook this up, our guitar input here. Okay. And this, running out of jumpers. This voltage divider and the input is going to go to pin number 3, which is right here. Now we're going to need, since this is a buffer, we're going to jumper pin 1 and 2. This is a mess because I don't have any shorter jumpers. I have all one size. Okay, those are jumpered. Oops, not 1 and 2. We need pin 6 and 2. Because pin 6 is the output and 2 is the negative input. All right, we got the ground and the positive hooked up. Now what we need is from pin 6, which is the output. I'm gonna have to bend these out a little bit so that I could get some space between the two. Let me get my needle nose pliers. Now we go from pin 6. This will be our, if I can get it in there, this will be our output capacitor. There. Then our output goes from here to our amplifier right here. All right, now this is all a buffer is. So what we're going to do is turn on the guitar, plug this into it, and we'll flip this switch here. And I'll try to show you it so that you can see when it's on and off, and you'll see what the difference is. I have the output here from the test box. I have my Strat with the black cable. It comes all, it's 20-foot cable. I'm sorry, it's 15-foot cable. Goes to the input of the test box. From the output of the test box, I have this black and white cable going to my tuner. And then another 20-foot cable. Oh, black and white cable is 20 feet. Then another 20-foot cable going to this true bypass box. It's off, so it doesn't affect the signal. Then I have this yellow cable, another 20-foot cable going to the Klon clone. It's also off. There's no buffer in the circuit from the Klon clone because I made this one true bypass. And from there, I got another 20-foot black cable. Goes all around into the Marshall. So let's see what it does. Okay, here's our circuit, all hooked up to our test box with our 90 feet of cable approximately. And here's what it sounds like. Sounds great, but I want you to listen to when I turn the buffer on. Now that's not adding high end, that's just recovering what's already there. It's changing a high impedance signal from your pickups to a low impedance signal on the other side of the op amp. I'm not sure how the YouTube compression is going to make it sound for you, but here I notice a huge difference. Definitely brings that pop back to the single coil pickups. There are low capacitance cables that you could get, but they still have capacitance. It's just lower than, let's say, a cheap cable. I try to use Megami, but these are just purchased from Guitar Center. Picked a couple cheapies up when they were on sale. Never know when you're going to need one, but I know there's some capacitance to them, and what the low impedance signal does is it allows the high end to make it through that capacitance without being rolled off. So I think you could notice, you also notice there's some noise because this isn't in a grounded enclosure, but I'm sure you could hear the difference. I know some people actually like to use a longer cable because it does roll off the high end, but for me, I like to send as much of the signal to the amp as possible and control it from there. You could always roll off high end at the amp or turn your tone knob down if it's too harsh. But yeah, I don't see a point to using a long cable just for tone control. Some people use those coily cables because there's capacitance to them, and I just don't like it. I like to send everything to the amp and control it from there. But what do you think? Big difference? Now don't consider this an effect because it's not adding high end. Consider it more of a utility and I'd say a necessity. Give it a try and see what you think. We're going to put the rest of our patch box together next time. So I'll talk to you then. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.